I'm not afraid I don't have no debt argument neither. Fuck you and your debt argument.
Wagwan people, welcome and welcome back to our Nation in viewers. And a big up on yourself. So it's IFRICA versus the Maroons. And me telling us figuratively the Maroons get up and them chose violence. What took place under the Kinder tree? Who is lying, IFRICA or the Maroons? Stay tuned.
Plenipotentiary for the sovereign state of Accompung, representing Paramount Chief Richard Curry, also known as Papa Udway I, the full Maroon Council, and the indigenous people of Cockpit Country, as well as those people of African descent that have properly registered with the Accompung Maroons for legal protection. I will use this video to directly address our sister Queen IFRICA on behalf of the Accompung Maroons, as she has decided to use this medium of public communication to interact with her Maroon family during a critical time of legal unrest in Jamaica, whereby the Maroons must once again unite and use our intelligence to protect and secure the pre-existing rights that are divinely given from our sovereign, God Almighty, the creator of everything seen and unseen. Sister IFRICA, after much discussions with our elders, the Accompung Maroon people, and our head of state, Paramount Chief Richard Curry, we wish to remind you of a few historical facts you may have forgotten or misunderstood, as well as we wish to highlight the road of confusion you will continue to trod if you do not again check in with Source under the Kinder tree regarding the mission as you did in 2021. That mystical experience you had where you were invoked under the Kinder tree with an ancient spirit speaking from the underworld. You remember, and we also remember you removing the Kinder sign from the tree, clutching it tightly as if it was a newborn baby, repeating loudly on your knees for Accompung and the reincarnated spirit in Chief Richard Curry to remember the others who were left behind in slavery. We understand very well, sister, the ancient mission. We are the living testament of that manifested freedom that existed before the attempt of the Spanish Inquisition and the British attempt to enslave the free Negroes, known today internationally as the Jamaican Maroons. We wish to remind you of a critical legal point of reference regarding the Agreement of Freedom in Jamaica that was secured in 1738. Everyone has the right to free will, to choose which government they think best for themselves to subject to. After the ancient wars and the Treaty of Peace and Friendship identified that there should only be two governments installed on the island of Jamaica, namely the Maroon government and the British-led government. Article 2 of the 1738 treaty makes it expressly clear that people who were considered slaves or rebels by the British had the choice to decide which government they would subject to, meaning they could go back to the plantations and be forgiven by their masters for running away to the Maroons, or stay with the Accompung Maroons as a free Negro and be bound by the terms of the treaty agreement. So Queen IFRICA, what does that mean today? It means freedom was already secured for our people, and therefore it is now the responsibility of every natural person on the island who does not wish to subject themselves to a foreign power or be under a new system that is being rushed and pushed on them with no transparency to declare and proclaim their Maroon identity and register with Accompung Town.
Greetings, everyone. So, the Maroon community, well, I shouldn't say the Maroon community, I should say the Accompung Maroon community, have put out a response to some of the stuff that I said, one of their representatives. And a couple of things that was mentioned I want to point out, right? Firstly, the brethren said that the way I am projecting what I am saying is the reason why a lot before me was killed. I would love some explanation from him as to exactly what that means. And the other thing I would love to point out about what he said in his response to what I said is Since that 21st of August 2021, when I appeared on Richard Curry's doorstep that morning, nothing happened to me at the Kinder tree. I came to Accompung with what was inside me. That is, I just want to make that clear. And the Kinder sign, the one family sign that was wrapped around my body that I was hugging, walking, when Richard, we could have said, run left me down at the Kinder tree. Seeing? When the rain started falling and I was on the ground, wailing and bawling. And the only evidence that was there said them never hear a cry like that before. Seeing? I went back down to Accompung 3 times since that to try to sit with Richard Curry to have an understanding, and it's pure disrespect. Pure disrespect. And the understanding we want to have is to acknowledge whether or not the Accompung Maroons guilty. Seeing? So, yeah, we see the narrative where the item try to push against Queen IFRICA, but we know the truth where we carry. And we can't edit it this time around. This time around, the truth have to talk how it's supposed to talk in order to save who forget save, but that's what I say. Someone watching a video and I put up and I try shape narrative around my name and I try to do what I do from the last hundreds of blood clot years before. It not gonna work in another new half, yeah. That's what I tell you no. Hey, Gammon, Mama G, if you're not fake, come forward. Cause we not itch. And we not afraid of no death argument neither. Fuck you and your death argument.
Well, people, this certainly took a turn. Tell me what you think in the comment section. So the gentleman who goes by the name O'Shane Briscoe admits that he wants to adopt the baby girl he found on the roadside in Kingston. So he said to the Gleaner, right, he freaked out on Wednesday morning when his friend alerted him to a newborn baby in a brown shopping bag hanging from a fence near his home in Vineyard Town in Kingston. Heart racing, he went to investigate and found a baby girl naked in a body bag with her umbilical cord still attached, surrounded by pieces of afterbirth, her body swarming with ants and covered with bite marks. Making the heartbreaking discovery sometime after 6 a.m., the 33-year-old contractor and father of 2 said he and his female friend, who wishes to remain anonymous, rushed the newborn to the hospital, hoping beyond hope that she would be alive. Recounting the discovery, which he now describes as a miracle and a blessing, Briscoe said that it was his friend's curiosity that led to the discovery of the baby, who he has since affectionately nicknamed Sunshine. While returning home from a nearby shop, the woman spotted the bag. I guess she's a lover of animal, as she saw the bag moving and she said, what kind of puppy or cat that in the bag, he recalled. Briscoe, who was a short distance away heading out of work, said while he did not see the bag at first, he would not have stopped to check based on the bag's bloody appearance. Both persons said they never imagined that it would have been a baby inside and were blown away by the discovery. Briscoe said they both inspected the baby and saw that she was alive and appeared okay except for ant bite marks on her body. The Good Samaritan said after he quickly regained some amount of composure, he called his cousin, who lent him a vehicle, and he and his friend took the baby to the Victoria Jubilee Hospital in Kingston.